BB drive-bys. Teenagers accused of shooting people with BB guns. The suspects say it was just for fun, but officers aren't laughing.
Door-to-door vaccines, why an idea from President Biden to increase vaccinations is causing controversy.
A third shot? Pfizer wants approval for another dose of the vaccine. But is it really needed?
And it's Florida versus Google, the new lawsuit that claims the internet giant is running an illegal monopoly.
Fox 35 NewsEdge at 11 starts now.
A BB gun rampage lands 3 teens behind bars in Palm Bay. They're accused of firing out of the windows of a moving SUV. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm Ray Vieva. Several people reported being hit by the BBs. Fox 35's Samantha Sosa is live tonight. And Sam, it took a while for officers to track those suspects down, right?
Well, yeah, after nearly a month-long investigation, Palm Bay police were able to get 3 teens behind bars.
Samantha, thank you. Tropical storm Elsa is still staying strong tonight as it makes its way up the East Coast. This is some new video of a tornado that storm spawned in Jacksonville yesterday. Officials say it was an EF1 tornado that caused damage throughout that area. In Georgia, 10 people had to be taken to the hospital after a tornado touched down there at a Navy base. That EF2 twister ripped through the area, flipping over RVs and knocking over some trees. And Elsa still packed a punch when it moved through the Carolinas today. This here is video from Myrtle Beach, where there was strong wind and heavy rain. More than 27 million Americans are under tropical storm warnings tonight.
And Elsa may be long gone from Florida, but that doesn't mean it's all sunshine out here in the Sunshine State. I'm here with Fox 35 Storm Center meteorologist Brooks Garner. And Brooks, the rain still lingering.
Yes, Elsa is gone, but the legacy remains. The moisture is just staying put. It is so tropical outside, and the thunderstorms tomorrow are going to sample some of that moisture and produce some especially heavy downpours. But the latest 11 o'clock advisory for Elsa places it right over easternmost Virginia, starting to work in toward the Potomac region. And yes, heavy rains. Now, the latest as well is that it may be starting to lose some of its tropical characteristics as it races on off to the northeast tomorrow. No doubt that will happen. So this will be likely the last day that Elsa is tropical storm Elsa. Soon it'll be just a remnant low and then history. And then we'll be quiet for a while. Look ahead at the long-range forecast for the tropics. No activity anticipated over the next 5 days. And right now, no activity on Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar. Just a couple of sprinkles possible overnight. But the big story tomorrow is that we are going to see some boundaries develop. We've got the Gulf Coast sea breeze that'll be colliding with the East Coast sea breeze. Coming up, I'll show you what the future radar looks like about 5 o'clock. We do have a chance for some storms tomorrow. Meanwhile, overnight tonight, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be hovering in the middle 70s. 1, 2, 3 a.m. Maybe you're doing that third shift, or maybe you're just out late tonight. A couple of sprinkles, otherwise a quiet night on tap. That's a nice change. But coming up, we'll talk about when the fireworks reinitiate. We're talking about thunderstorms.
Oh boy. All right, Brooks, thank you. And you can get the latest watches and warnings with the Fox 35 Storm Team Weather app. It brings the power of Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar right to the palm of your hand. Tonight, Fox 35 News continues to follow the situation at Images condominiums in Kissimmee after we broke the news last week that breezeways on some of the buildings there were in danger of collapsing. Well, we went back today to get an update on why it took a week for repairs to begin.
To a news alert, after nearly 20 years, President Biden announces an official end to the U.S. combat mission in Afghanistan.
U.S. troops will be out of that country by August 31st, about 2 weeks sooner than expected. President Biden also called on Afghan leaders to come together to prevent a civil war.
Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war.
Critics say the withdrawal will open the door for the Taliban to regain strength in that country.
Tonight, Pfizer is getting ready to ask for FDA approval for a third COVID-19 vaccine dose. The company says it could boost protection against that Delta variant we've been telling you about. Pfizer says early data from a trial suggests people's antibody levels jump significantly after they get a booster. But the filing doesn't mean third doses would be rolled out anytime soon. Public health officials will have to decide if they're really needed.
Coming up next here on the News Edge at 11, could the Orlando Magic be closing in on a new head coach?
Plus, local animal shelters getting overrun as people return pets they adopted while the pandemic was going on, and how you can help.
And a new tool to track hurricanes was deployed during Elsa. We're going to show you what these devices do to help predict a storm's path.
Fox Bet Super 6 is giving away Big Papi's money all season long. Download the Super 6 app. It's free to play. Just make 6 picks for a chance to win $1,000.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video and enhanced voice clarity. Learn more at watchNextGenTV.com. Fox 35 News is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan.
The man accused of shooting a Daytona Beach police officer in the head is now formally charged with attempted first-degree murder. Otha Wallace was extradited back to Central Florida last week. The shooting sparked a 3-day manhunt, which led police to a treehouse in Georgia where Wallace was hiding. Officer Jason Rayner is still fighting for his life in a hospital. Now, this story really makes me sad. As pandemic restrictions wind down, people who adopted animals to help get them through quarantine are returning them to shelters.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but that's caused many of our local shelters to become overcrowded. Fox 35's David Bowden takes a look at this issue. All right, I'll take them all. Well, Tropical Storm Elsa isn't the only cause of severe weather across the country. Check out this video from New Jersey, where massive chunks of hail fell during a thunderstorm there. Well, Elsa may be long gone from Florida, but the rain is still sticking around.
And she is still the subject of our conversation.
I know. It's. I thought the name Elsa would lose favor after the Disney movie finally lost its popularity, but that will never happen. And I think we'll be talking about Elsa for a long time. The legacy is the moisture. That moisture is going to produce thunderstorms tomorrow. A look at the severe storm potential tomorrow. Thankfully, it's a 0 on the scale of 1 to 5, which means that in this minty coloration, including all of Florida, thunderstorms are possible. Big surprise, right? It's summertime, but at least we're not in that marginal or slight or moderate category. So tomorrow they should be run-of-the-mill, although with Elsa's energy still in place, a lot of humidity, they could be on the heavier side. A 60% chance for thunderstorms next couple of days, guys. The driest day of the next 7 looks to be next Thursday with some slightly dry air moving in for a day or two. But overall, we're in the heart of the rainy season, July in Florida.
Now, I wonder if I'll be able to wear all the air during the rest of the week. Like, a new device was used to track and study Elsa to help meteorologists predict the storm's path. More than 200 of these dropsondes were dropped right into the storm from airplanes.
The quality of our 5-day hurricane forecasts now are as good or better than the 3-day, 2-day, 1-day forecasts from decades ago. And that's because of technology like this.
This reminds me of the movie Twister. The sensors measure temperature, humidity, air pressure, and wind speed during their 5 to 10 minute fall to the ocean. Look at that. It's like a science project we're learning right there. The Fox 35 Sports Zone is up next.
Sports anchor Adam Shadoff here with a preview. What you working on, Adam?
Guys, we've got some teams looking to rebound on tonight's Fox 35 Sports Zone. Orlando City will have an entire week to work on things before their next match, which is good because they've just lost 2 straight matches for the first time in the Oscar Pareja era. The Pride had been cruising too until their little slip up recently. They'll look to get back on track tomorrow night hosting Louisville. And a new name emerges for the Magic head coaching vacancy, but not a big name. He does, however, got what Orlando is probably looking for. I've got that plus an FSU freshman linebacker and more. The Fox 35 Sports Zone is next.
Fox 35 News is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. This hurricane season, depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team when it matters most.
Welcome to the Fox 35 Sports Zone. I'm Adam Shadoff. So what did we learn from last night's 3-1 Orlando City loss in Chicago? Well, for starters, this is the first time this season and since Oscar Pareja took over that the Lions have lost back-to-back matches. And that's it for the Sports Zone. I'm Adam Shadoff. Luann and Ray?
Still ahead on the News Edge at 11, teachers' bonuses in jeopardy. We explain why a misunderstanding may keep the cash out of their checks.
Yeah, and Google is once again facing a major antitrust lawsuit, and this time Florida is playing a big part.
I transform people's lives.
Let the adventure begin.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Teachers, listen up. Florida may have made an error that affects teachers across the state. The governor used federal COVID recovery funds to cover the cost of bonuses, but federal law does not appear to allow those funds to be used for bonus pay. The governor thought teacher bonuses fell under part of the stimulus bill that addressed learning loss.
$216 million from the third round of the ESSER funds so that we could do $1,000 bonuses for public school principals and classroom teachers for grades pre-K through 12.
The U.S. Department of Education sent the governor a letter explaining how the law does not allow for bonuses. The Florida Department of Education is now reviewing that letter. Florida is joining 35 other states in a new federal lawsuit against Google.
Yeah, that suit claims the company is exploiting app developers and consumers with excessive fees. Fox 35's Craig Patrick breaks down the details. Thanks so much for joining us on the News Edge at 11.
The news continues on fox35orlando.com and on Good Day Orlando starting at 4 a.m. Have a great night.